What is up, guys? Welcome back to the KC Sports Memes podcast. This is Megatron, and I'm here with Drew, Tony, and Marvin. What's up, guys? How you doing?
Good.
Doing good. How are you?
Doing pretty good. Really excited for this show. I mean, as always, a lot of good sports this week. A lot of interesting games I didn't think would happen. For this show, we'll go over the 6 key games of the week like we usually do. We'll go through a rundown of the rest of the games and probably add in some playoff talk during that time too. We'll do a Chiefs recap over the last week. And then we'll look at what to look forward to over the next week, both as an NFL fan and as a Chiefs fan. Before we get into things, just a quick note, I'd like to take a minute to talk about a company that reached out to us to work with us, Phoenix. They're a company that sells supplements, gear, apparel. So if you're into working out, this is a great company to check out. I've never been disappointed with their products or their customer service. But yeah, they're a really great company. They gave us a code to give you guys. That is FNXKCSM. And when you use that at checkout, then you get 15% off your purchase. That is at fnxfit.com, Phoenix Fit. Like I said, really great company. Highly recommend them. All right, jumping into the show, looking back at the 6 key games from this past week, games that we picked that we really enjoyed, really wanted to talk about, really wanted to discuss further, maybe even fight about. So we'll see. First up, one of the fighting ones, Bucs versus Vikings. Bucs have been a big discussion for us on this podcast. This game was pretty good. Vikings didn't look terrible, or well, I mean, some of them did. I mean, you still have Dalvin Cook tearing up every game, just going off. But those missed kicks that they had really slowed down the momentum on that. 3 missed field goals and 1 missed extra point. So that's, 10 points total that they didn't have that they should have. What do you have on this one, Tony?
You know what I'll say. All I have to say is one thing. Brady is 8-5. Brady's going to go to the playoffs. Tom Brady, he didn't look Super Bowl MVP.
No.
He looked average, maybe a little less than that. He threw 15. He was 15 of 23, 2 touchdowns, 4 yards under 200. Again, like you said, the Vikings didn't play. I mean, from statistics wise, it wasn't terrible, but you still have Dalvin Cook on that team, and Cook, has been very well this season. But 26-14, Buccaneers get a win. They're going to go 11-5. They're going to go to the playoffs. They can't lose against the Falcons twice. They can't lose against the Lions. Marvin, I don't know where you get this idea that Brady's not gonna win. It's Tom Brady, 6 Super Bowls. He's playing teams that don't even have a winning record. They don't even have a winning record, right? And so, yeah, there you go. Marvin.
So last week I predicted the Vikings would win, and they should have. But Brady paid off the refs again. That's because he does that.
Right.
I mean, how else did he go to Super Bowl 9 times? Obviously, he paid off the refs. Obviously. Anyway, in this game, I will admit Brady played a lot better than I thought he would. In this game, he threw the ball 23 times, which I'm surprised. With his age and his shoulder, I'm just surprised he can do that so many times. But he made 15 completions. Pretty good. 196 yards. For an old man, that's pretty good. I'm not gonna lie. And 2 touchdowns. All right, that's good. And for Cousins, what do you look at this? Age does matter. Cousins threw the ball 37 times. and he had more completions than Brady, 24, and more passing yards, 225, and he had 1 touchdown. So I think this settles the debate, son. I think Cousins is the better quarterback in this game. Sure, he lost, but look at the stats. I'm like, yeah, I think Cousins is the GOAT, bro. So here's what went wrong on my end. The Vikings had a bit of a problem with their kicking game. They missed 3 field goals plus an extra point, as Megatron said. That's unfortunate on so many levels. So that Tampa got 2 extra points. So even if they had made those points, they still would have been ahead by 2. So I'll give you that. But if they would have made those points, though, I think a miracle could have occurred where the Vikings could have won because, Brady with his bad shoulder,
Yeah, the bad shoulder where he's throwing free.
Hey, time out. I'm not done yet, son. I'm just getting started. I really thought we would wait till the end, but I guess you want to save Steelers talk for that. So, all right. So anyway, with Brady's bad shoulder, say Buccaneers only got a 2-point lead. Vikings are coming in, and Brady's like, all right, well, we got to keep this lead. Got to keep this lead. All right. And here comes in Dalvin Cook, who is playing defense for some reason, and he's going to come in and tackle Tom Brady, and he drops the ball, and then Dalvin Cook picks up the ball, and he runs in, and that's how the Vikings win. So
Yeah.
You got lucky. You got lucky that he missed 4 field goals. So
actually, I had that in my note. I had that in my notes too, Marvin. Actually, all of that. It's crazy. Yeah.
No. Tell me this. Why? Look at Brady's stats: 30 touchdowns, almost 3,500 yards, 11
interceptions.
11 interceptions. Okay, and yet he's 43 years old on a new team. He's still in the playoffs, correct? I don't think they're out of the playoffs.
No, they have that wild card spot.
Yeah, they're in the wild card spot. Yeah, so
that's not the number 1 seed.
Sixth seed. And so you can't say that Brady's terrible when he's actually playing better than Peyton Manning was bad as last year.
Hey,
Manning was terrible as last year.
But Manning's retired, so you can't really throw that logic in here. But looking at this stat, Kirk Cousins had a better game than Tom Brady. According to stats,
no, Brady didn't throw a pick. He threw 2 touchdowns. And he won the game by doing less yards.
Cousins didn't throw a pick, according to this. And I'll admit, I did not watch this game. I was being a loyal Chiefs fan watching the Chiefs game. So I can't throw the argument that, did you watch this game? I can't do that with this game. I can't do it. I'm sorry. I can't do it. But from what I'm seeing here, Cousins had a better game stat-wise than Brady did. Except Brady got the W, which is very unfortunate for my argument and things.
I don't know. I'm still not really impressed with Brady. I mean, he's kind of putting up the stats, but playing wise, he just overthrows the ball. Like if he misses a receiver, it's usually because he throws it way past them. Yeah, you're going to have incompletions. Every quarterback obviously has incompletions. You're going to have some overthrown, but that's what he's done a lot this season. Is a lot of overthrown passes. He's still putting up the numbers and everything, but I'm still not really impressed with him. I'm still not really settled on the Bucs. I know, like you said, they're going to playoffs. They're 8-5 now. Yeah. I'm still not really set on them.
And I'll admit, yes, Brady can be inconsistent. He's been that way this year.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But here's the thing: it's Tom Brady still, and we'll see in the playoffs.
Here we go.
We'll see.
Tom Brady. Tony. Oh, yeah.
Tom Brady may have had his best game so far this season. And guess what? He put up similar stats to Mitchell Trubisky in his best game of the season. I wouldn't say whatever you want about him being on a new team, but that does not account for him throwing the ball to the other team 11 times this season.
Maybe you're all right.
Maybe, I don't know. But I mean, even looking at the Vikings, I mean, they needed that win to even stay in playoff contention. I kind of doubt they'll go to the playoffs at this point. Looks like they play Bears, Saints, and then Lions. Anyways, so they play those teams, and
You said the Vikings do?
Yeah, I can see them winning some of those, but they're still right now out of the playoffs. They're one game back. I really think. I mean, we talked about they need a new quarterback to be a good team. Obviously, they need a new kicker to be a good team. With Cook and then Jefferson being a rookie, that dude's insane, even with a terrible quarterback. They really deserve a better team.
I think Vikings should get Carson Wentz.
Carson Wentz needs to be done.
Okay,
he's not good.
Cam Newton, maybe.
No, he goes to Denver.
No, you can't have him. Well, actually, yes, you can have him because we'll beat him twice a year. So what am I saying? You can have him. Sure. He'll have shoulder pain, Can't throw the ball.
No.
It's like my ankle. my shoulder. I'm at my shoulder.
Like, what does that do? His ankle too. Just everything. Brady.
I don't think Minnesota goes to the playoffs. Probably. Well, okay. Probably if they're playing New Orleans, that's a definite loss. Who else do you say? Falcons? No.
No.
New Orleans.
Bears. And Lions.
Oh my.
I can see them winning the Bears and the Lions, but they're losing the Saints game.
And plus, I mean, right now sitting in the wild card spot is Seahawks, Buccaneers, Arizona being 7-6, Vikings being 6-7, Bears being right behind Vikings at 6-7. So if Bears win this next game on Sunday, yeah, I think Vikings are going to be out of it.
If I'm not mistaken, aren't the Cardinals got a pretty favorable schedule too? They got a few games they should win.
I think so. Let's see.
They play Philadelphia, San Francisco, and LA.
Yeah, so likely going to win all three of those.
Yep. Well, LA, I don't think they'll win LA.
And they have trouble against San Francisco, so that actually might be.
And Philadelphia just beat New Orleans.
Jalen Hurts quarterback though.
That's true. Jalen Hurts.
So I don't know. We'll see. I think they do. I think the Cardinals do lose against LA though.
Yeah.
LA's actually sadly good.
I mean, Washington just beat them though. On Sunday.
Just beat them.
Yeah, they just beat them. Or LA. I'm sorry.
LA just beat the Patriots.
Wrong game, yeah. Yeah, I don't know, because LA's been back and forth too. Like,
yeah, they're not consistent. Yeah,
so that's why I said like they could likely win out. Cardinals could, but we'll see.
Mm-hmm. I think it's funny. I think it's funny how Tony thinks Buccaneers are still going to playoffs, but that's just me.
It's my hope. It's been my hope all year.
Why? You're not even a Buccaneers fan.
Tom Brady.
Oh, that's right.
I'm giving him the, just it's okay.
I don't know if you heard the rumor or not. Or not rumor. Whatever. He has 6 rings. Does he really need another one? I don't think so.
6 rings?
Yeah. One for every ref he paid to get.
No. I mean, they are sitting at 8-5, which is pretty good for the AFC or NFC. Wow.
Yeah. I say they lose one more. They lose to Atlanta once.
Yeah, I don't see them losing. But we'll see.
Okay. I want them to, let's put it that way.
And even if they do, I think they still have the 7th spot.
They'll still get in with one loss. So
yeah.
Yep.
Marvin.
Yeah, Marvin.
I'll trade Eagles for Buccaneers in the playoffs. I'll throw some money at someone and they can make it happen.
Magic. All right. So, finally moving on from that game. One of the best games of the week, probably one of the best primetime games in a while. Browns Ravens.
A lot better than I thought.
That game was insane. I'll admit we were all wrong on that one, but it's kind of worth it to take the loss on that one, saying that we were all wrong with how good that game was. Browns looked good throughout that game, so good that Marvin said that they are more legit than the Steelers. Changed my mind, I think was what the post said, right, Marvin? I mean, I think anyways, you posted it too soon. That's just my personal opinion.
I know what I did, and I knew that was probably going to happen when I posted that.
Yeah,
I blame Tony.
I don't understand why, but okay.
Why?
This game really had everything. I mean, Lamar Jackson was back. Trace McSorley came in. A lot of popularity there, and then he got hurt. So he has a sprained knee. Was placed on the injury reserve. Doesn't look like it's season ending, from what I saw, but we'll see. Drew, what do you have on this one?
Yeah, this might have been my favorite game from the week. Great divisional battle. Both these teams are probably going to make the playoffs after this. I do think the Ravens will still get in, and so will the Browns. But I was impressed with Lamar Jackson. This is the first game that he looked like his last year MVP form. Running the ball, he finally was making stuff happen, and he kept slipping in the dirt. He still ended up with 124 yards and 2 touchdowns on the ground. This is the first game he looked like himself, and even when he went out with injury, they were up by 14. He comes back down 1 and ends up leading that comeback to win the game. He looked so impressive. But so did the Browns. The Browns looked impressive on the other side, scoring 42. Baker had 343 yards. Just overall, both these teams look like legit playoff teams the way they played last night. What a battle. And it's a big loss, I would say, for the Browns. Ravens now beat them twice, hold that tiebreaker. That could end up flipping a seed. We'll see how the end of the season goes. And big win for the Ravens. If they didn't win that game, then they would have needed the Dolphins to lose twice, even if they won out to get in, because they do not have the tiebreaker over the Dolphins. Now they sit tied with them. They just need the Dolphins to lose once, and they've got a favorable schedule the rest of the way with the Giants, Bengals, and Jaguars. Should be able to slip into the playoffs. Dolphins still have Bills, Patriots on their schedule, so it should be a tough way for them.
Yeah, those are a really good comeback game for Lamar. I think I said it in the comments on TikTok, was that was probably the best game I've seen him play in a while. I was kind of really doubting him because, MVP, a reigning MVP, and not playing like it at all. This season hasn't really gone well for him. It doesn't seem like he got a ton of pressure in the pocket, but he was running around like he handled it really well. And then he had that trip to the locker room that some were saying was a possible bathroom break.
He just took the Browns to the Super Bowl. That's all.
No. He said it was cramps. So I don't know. Maybe we could trust him there. Cramps. But yeah, it's a hard fought game by both teams. And then Browns even driving down the field to take the lead. Was it to take the lead or no, to tie the game, right? With
that was a 40-second drive too. That was
less than 2 minutes left.
Mm-hmm.
But then, just Ravens going back. Justin Tucker, super reliable kicker, the one that the Vikings need. Getting that faithful walk-off kick. Yeah, Ravens winning that 45-42. Like you said, Ravens are sitting outside of the playoff spot. So, man, I'm excited for the next few weeks. Just it should be really interesting, mainly in the AFC, kind of like we talked about. I think that's the division to really watch out for. I think that will probably be Super Bowl winner, possibly is AFC, just because of, like I said, how good the teams are. But yeah, we'll see how it plays out over the next few weeks.
Browns are going to Super Bowl. Is that what you said?
Yeah, I said they're going to win it. Yep, that's 100% what I said. Even though I never said Browns, but yes, that's what I meant. Good job.
Browns are gonna beat the Lions in the Super Bowl. It's gonna be pretty interesting.
Especially considering that the Lions aren't even in playoffs.
There's a disagreement. Okay.
Yeah, I disagree. But yeah, no, super good game. Then the Colts versus the Raiders. Colts, man, they really stepped it up. Better than I thought they'd be, especially with Rivers. And I expect them to be very good. What do you have on this one, Marvin?
The Raiders lost. So that's that. All right. So what's the next game?
All right.
All right. So here we go. Here we go, boys and girls. Phillip Rivers threw the ball. Get this, 28 times. That's crazy. Didn't think the old man had it in him. He made 19 completions, 244 passing yards, and 2 passing touchdowns. Quite honestly, pretty good game. For Mr. Carr, he threw the ball a few more times than the old man. 45 attempts, 31 completions. That's 316 passing yards. 2 passing touchdowns, and this the icing on the cake. Get this, 2 interceptions. Oh yeah. Colts came into Vegas and they cashed out. See what I did there? Colts beat Raiders 44-27. On this season, Rivers has thrown over 3,507 passing yards, 20 passing touchdowns, and 9 interceptions, while Mr. Carr has thrown for 3,343 passing yards, 24 passing touchdowns, and 7 interceptions. So, you want to know what my thought is on this game? Phil Rivers is the GOAT. Colts beat the Raiders. And the Raiders' chances at the playoffs are going down, just like the Buccaneers' hopes are. And I told you earlier in the season that the Raiders were going to collapse later in the season. And guess what? I was right about that. And yeah, and I think the Raiders are going to lose against the Chargers on Thursday, especially after with this loss to the Colts. So that's my thoughts. Blah, 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 blah. And yep, that's all she wrote. All right, let's debate.
Colts are at 9-4 right now, tied with the Browns at AFC spot. Really leading that spot. They have Texans, Steelers, Jaguars left to go. I think they'll make it. Steelers, I think, will be tough, but at the same time, one, Steelers haven't been playing that great, and then 2, they clinched the playoffs. So, and I mean, unless they feel like fighting with the Chiefs for that number 1 spot, then they don't really have anything really left to play for in the rest of the games from here on out.
Division.
The Colts are actually tied with the Titans now for the division as well. Tied with the Browns, but also tied for that division spot. They could end up taking that if they keep playing like this.
I have Colts taking the division. I think Titans are too inconsistent.
Mm-hmm. I could definitely see that.
Well, who do the Titans play? Detroit, Green Bay, and Houston.
I think they lose to Green Bay, and the Colts win out. Colts take the division.
Oh, did you get that? Colts went out. They play Steelers in one of those games, right? Oh.
Yep.
Gotta hurt. You're Steelers, man.
I can see that.
Steelers are 0-2 in their last.
Man. I know.
2 games.
I know.
And yet they're still 11-2.
Yeah.
If only someone could have predicted this.
You didn't predict 11-0.
No. I predicted they'd lose. But you said, yeah, they're going 16-0. I said, no, they're not. Yes, they are. No, they're not. Yes, they are. No, they're not. Oh, look, I was right.
No, I'm pretty sure we both said that they would probably.
Then you said 15-1. I was like, no. You're like, yeah. I was like, no. And I was like, I'm right. And you're like, oh.
No, I think the whole time I was like, I could see it going either way. Like the entire time I said that.
This is my story. This is how it went.
I mean, I can look back at at the podcast and see.
We don't need to do that. We're on a tight schedule here. So.
But yeah, Colts definitely a better team than I thought they were going to be this year.
Yep, and I also heard before the season that Rivers said if it was a bad year for the Colts and himself, that he'd retire. So I think Rivers is going to play at least one more year since the Colts are doing pretty good. And so is he.
We'll see once he gets to playoffs, though.
It's true, but I'd like another year of Crimea Rivers. At least one more. I need it.
True. I hope we play them in the playoffs only because of that.
Yeah. We need this.
Mm-hmm.
Besides that, I hate playing Colts in the playoffs no matter what.
Colts are going to lose their first playoff game anyway, so it's fine.
Yeah, we'll have a first round bye, so it doesn't.
If it was to end right now, they'd be playing Bills first game. So
that's a toss up.
Yeah. I don't know. I think they're a good enough team to beat some of these teams because, I mean, Dolphins are in there too. I think they could beat the Dolphins. Steelers would be a toss-up. I think they'd beat the Titans. I think Browns would be another close one. I don't know. I think Colts have pretty good chances, I think, in the playoffs. But I don't. Like I said, it's Phillip Rivers in the playoffs, so we'll see with that.
Bills are playing really, really good football. I don't know if they can beat the Bills.
Yeah, that's true. I don't know, though, because Colts have really good defense. And so it would be if they could stop Josh Allen, and then that'd be it, basically. So, I don't know. We'll see. Going on from that game to the Broncos versus the Panthers. Broncos played a really good game. They had control the entire game. Marvin, did you watch the game?
Go on.
So the Broncos had control the entire game, both offense and defense. Looked really good, which I hate with a passion. Tony, what do you have on this one?
Okay, now I want to share a stat. Now,
Wow.
quote me on this. This is what I
It's not
saw.
like we don't.
This is the only game by a quarterback this year that has thrown 75%, has 149 plus passer rating, and was it 4 touchdowns? I believe that was. Don't quote me on that. Something like that. Locke had a great game, 4 touchdowns, missed 6 passes. That's it. They won 32-27. Bridgewater threw 75% of his passes, or completed 75% of his passes, 283, no touchdowns, no interceptions. He did have a rushing touchdown, though. Broncos won this game. They're 5-8. They still have a chance to go to the playoffs. Now, again, they'll probably lose this week, but at least
there's that hope that they haven't
it's
been
just,
eliminated
it's one
yet.
game. It was one game.
Yeah.
It was a good game. And no, I did not watch this game. I didn't watch any.
It's kind of like I said about that Patriots game, right, against was it the Chargers when they scored like 45-0, whatever. I think this was, like I said with that one, I think this is a good game for a team that probably isn't going to go to the playoffs. I mean, highly unlikely. I mean, like I said, they haven't been eliminated yet, but going to be eliminated.
If you would have started Blake Bortles, you'd probably go Super Bowl.
That's true. They probably would have scored more in that game.
And actually throwing a touchdown.
73 to 27. Yeah, no, I was really impressed with that game. I mean, I don't mind watching the other division teams do good, as long as they're not going to playoffs, and as long as it's not against the Chiefs. Then, I mean, they can do all right.
You like that, Marvin, too, don't you? Broncos doing good.
I wish the Broncos would go 0-16 every year. Well, yeah.
See, we're
0-17 next year.
Like we were talking about it. I can't remember if it was on the podcast or after it last week. I think it was. We were talking about Drew Lock. Really glad to see this for him. He took 1 sack. I think I saw the whole game. They're getting 4 touchdowns. really good to see a local guy getting that. And like I said, I support the guy completely. I don't think he's always the best. I don't think he's always the most consistent. But seeing that from him was really cool. So.
Yeah, I was so happy to see him do that. Might have been his best game of his career. It was so good to watch him finally have that game, I guess.
1 year ago today, I saw Drew Lock play the greatest game of his career in person at Arrowhead Stadium. Tony was with him. That was a good game. He scored a whole 3 points the entire game. That
It was
good
the snow. The conditions, it,
Yeah, it's
The
funny
wind.
because Mahomes, he did great in the snow. Oh,
he didn't do great.
he did.
He did.
Well,
Well,
it's
you disagreed though because you weren't cheering for him. But we scored more than 3 points.
Locke
I mean, we won.
sometimes messes up. There's some goes just one game.
Oh, here we go. You're your 1 game thing.
It's my quote for the year. One game.
Hey,
Just 1 game.
keep that same thought about that Brady game, okay?
What?
Keep the same thought about Tom Brady. 'Cause that was just 1 game, okay?
They're 2-13 on the season. Oh, it's just 1 game. They're gonna make the playoffs.
Next game.
Next game. Yeah, they got a next game.
Yeah.
No, next game.
Anyway.
Okay. But yeah, good win for the Broncos. Since their season doesn't really matter at this point very much. But yeah, going to the Bears-Texans game. Really disappointed with the Texans overall this season. I think we've talked about that some throughout the weeks. I think I said it before too that when we played them first game, I was like, man, we played the Texans. They're a good team. We beat them, and then they haven't been good at all. The only time that I saw the Texans looked good in this game, that they were actually in this game, was the only time they scored. Score was 36-7. They only scored on 1 drive. That was the only good drive for them. From when
Against
I saw
Mitchell Trubisky too.
Yeah. Drew, what do you have on this one?
This game just completely shocked me. Mitchell Trubisky, he has not had a good career, as we all know, taking number 2 above both Deshaun Watson, who he just beat in this game, and Patrick Mahomes. But he had 267 yards, 3 touchdowns, no interceptions. This is the first time all season that this Bears offense has actually looked good. David Montgomery had over 100 yards. Their running game looked good. This is the first time all season. The defense for the Bears looked the best it's looked since they've won their last game, since they were 5-1. They've lost 5 or 6 straight since then. Their defenses looked horrible. I was just shocked. The Bears looked actually good. And then the Texans, who have been kind of the opposite, they were so bad at the beginning of the year, have won a few games here recently. I thought they were going up. Bears were going down. It just went completely opposite. Just an interesting game for the storyline. Mitchell Trubisky probably had the best day out of a 2017 drafted quarterback. Mahomes didn't look great. Deshaun Watson didn't look great. It's just crazy to see that, for him to come out here and beat Deshaun Watson. I mean, it's just 1 game, but it's just interesting how Trubisky actually looked good. I don't know.
Yeah. I mean, and you look at that, Bears are 6-7 right now. They're 1 game back up in that wild card spot. I don't see them making it, but that was definitely I've used that phrase a lot since we're talking about playoffs more since it's getting closer to that time, but that was a must-win game for them. Like we were talking about, even with the Vikings, because that's who they're tied with right there, just below the line for the wild card spot. I don't think Vikings will get it. I don't think Bears will end up getting in, but at least making it a closer push to make it at least more possible to make it. So, yeah, we'll see how the rest of it plays out. Definitely good for, like you said, Trubisky. That's not the greatest of quarterbacks.
No.
Watch Trubisky win a Super Bowl before Mahomes does. It'd be really funny. Watson.
Yeah, no, I was like, Mahomes already won, so I don't know how he's going to go back in time. I mean, I don't know if I could see it, actually. I was going to say I could see it, but Watson's a good quarterback. The Texans just aren't a good team, and I don't really know why. I mean,
If only,
they did
if
trade away
only,
Hopkins.
yeah, that's what I was gonna say. That
If
and
only
their
they had
coach.
a coach too, that might help.
Yeah, no, that's
They
true.
need-
So,
They need Eric, what's his name, to be the coach.
the enemy.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because, yeah, they need something. Because, I mean, they've got, like, Watt. They've had Watt for a while. I know he's injury prone and everything.
Watt's
like,
out. He's gonna leave after this year, guaranteed.
Yeah, because, I mean, like, we're trading away Hopkins. Like, why? Like, arguably one of the best receivers in the league. He's up there for sure. And you trade him away. Like,
Makes
yeah, no. Okay. Like, I guess that's what they thought because I don't think it makes sense at all. But, yeah. No, so I don't know. That's Texans
They probably just felt.
do
They probably
something.
just felt like the Cardinals had a better chance at winning than the Texans did. So they were like, you know what? We love this guy so much. We want him to be better elsewhere, and we love Watson so much. We want him to hate himself here. I think that's what happened.
That's probably it. That's
Yeah.
got the inside edition on on the Texans meetings.
Yeah. How
And
can we
then-
make Watson's life so miserable? I got an idea. We'll trade away his top receiver.
Yeah. And then just leave him just by himself, basically, on offense.
And then suspend the other guy. And then now they're going to trade
Sure.
away Watt. I mean, you got to. I got nothing.
Yeah. No, that's definitely going to be a tough turnaround for that team. They're going to have to find something to do pretty quick. But yeah. And then finally this past week, one that I don't think any of us really liked seeing at all. Like, I think we all hated seeing this happen on the Bills beating the Steelers.
Yeah, all of us, all of us.
All four of us. Yeah,
Yeah,
it's really rough to watch.
I really hated getting the 1 seed. I really hated it.
Yeah, it's the worst. Steelers confuse me. They go 11-0. I know everyone, all the Chiefs fans that I see, or different people that I see, and even Marvin will say that, well, the Steelers aren't, better than the Chiefs or compare them to the Chiefs. I'm like, yeah, I know they're not better than the Chiefs, but they're still a good team because no team in professional sports is going to go 11-0 and not be at least a good team, even a decent team isn't going to play 11 professional teams and beat all of them and then just be a terrible team. I understand that they're not the best team in the league. I think even the power rankings, I think show that, I can't remember exactly where it's at. I know Chiefs were number 1, Packers were number 2 at this point. But yeah, no, Steelers still confuse me. Marvin, what do you have on this one?
All right. Okay. Here we go. So, back when the Steelers were on their winning streak, you all said, "Oh, Steelers are going to go 16-0," and then I was like, "No, they're not," and you guys were like, "Yes, they were." I said, "No, they weren't," and then they lost, and you were like, "Oh no, Mama, they lost." I said, "I told you. So listen to your papa." So they lost to the Washington football team, right? And I was like, okay. Even I didn't have that happening, but I'm very happy they did. And then next game, you're like, all right, so Steelers are going to bounce back. They're going to beat the Bills. I said, no, they're not. Bills are a legit team. Steelers are just wannabes. And you guys were like, no. There's no way they're going to lose back-to-back after winning 11 straight. I said, watch, children. And that's exactly what happened. Bills beat the Steelers 26-15. Josh Allen had a very good game. He threw 43 times, got 24 completions. Maybe that's not as well. Yeah, it was pretty good. 238 passing yards, 2 passing touchdowns, 1 interception, and that 1 interception was just a glitch, I must say. So, we're pretending that didn't happen for the sake
Besides
of
that,
argument.
it did.
Yeah, besides that, it did happen. Big Ben, on the other hand, he threw 37 times. See, he threw less times than Josh Allen. That's just terrible. And he had 21 completions. He threw for 187 yards. Ooh, way less than good old Allen. And he had 2 passing touchdowns. All right, same as Allen, pretty good. Oh, but get this. 2 interceptions. Ooh, and those do count, by the way. That wasn't a glitch. That was an actual thing. And so, yeah, the Steelers have lost 2 games in a row. They are collapsing at the most perfect time that I need them to collapse. They had the 1 seed for several weeks, and now the past 2 weeks, they're like, you know what? We were so good, but we have 6 Super Bowl titles under our belt. We don't need to win another one. The Chiefs, they're like the next NFL dynasty. We had our fun back in the 70s or whatever that time was. And so here's what we're going to do. We're going to lose to the Washington football team on purpose, and then we're going to lose to the Bills on purpose, just so the Chiefs can get the number 1 seed. And that's what's happening.
That's Ben Roethlisberger's process.
And that's right. All right. And so, so the Steelers are going to play Cincinnati next, correct? Correct. So here's what's going to happen. You know that the Steelers just lost to Washington, which was beautiful. And I know Joe Burrow is out for the year, and I couldn't even tell you who's playing for quarterback for the Bengals right now, but it really doesn't matter. You see, they could be the janitor, and they would still win. So what's going to happen?
I'm pretty sure that's who it is.
It probably is. Steelers are going to walk in at Cincinnati. I think it's at Cincinnati. Doesn't matter what it is. It could be in a parking lot. Who really cares? Steelers are going to play the Bengals. All right. And here's what's going to happen. Steelers are going to be like, all right, so we lost back-to-back. We're feeling sorry for ourselves. We're really sad. The paychecks that we were paying the refs have not been going through for some reason. It must be because of COVID. It must be because of Roger Goodell. I don't know what the reason is. But for some reason, these checks are not going through to the refs. All right, so the Steelers are going to hype it up. They're like, we lost 2 straight. It's unfortunate, but we're going to bounce back and beat Cincinnati. So they're going to walk in Cincinnati, and they're going to play them. And then it's going to be like the Washington game, where it looks like they're going to win, then they're going to lose. It looks like they're going to win, then they're going to lose. And then, get this. It comes down to the final play of the game. There's a field goal for some reason. In a football game, there's a field goal. And the Bengals are lined up, ready to kick the game-winning field goal. They miss, but the Steelers grab it, running like they did in the Super Bowl against the Cardinals all those years ago. They're running down to get that touchdown. And then he trips because he forgot to tie his cleat, So his shoe was untied. So he falls down, and the ball fumbles. The Bengals pick it up. They run it back, get a touchdown. They win. That means the Steelers lose 3 straight, and then the Chiefs get to lock in that 1 seed. It's going to be so beautiful, and I can't wait till our next podcast where I get to rub it in your face, because this is exactly how it's going to happen. So let's hear why you guys are wrong and why I'm right.
Because that is very specific.
Yeah,
a little too specific.
Yeah,
it's going to happen.
It's just one of the reasons.
It could happen.
Yeah.
See, you guys are speechless because you know I'm right.
Yeah, I know. It's like, what up with the Steelers? 0-2 in the past 2 games, right? They still go to the play. Did they? They haven't clinched yet, right?
Yeah, they did.
I think they did.
Oh, they did. Okay, so they're going to the playoffs. The Bills are, they're 10-3. They're a good team, I guess. But I don't know. We'll see. Maybe here's a question. Are they losing because they faced tough teams? Bills are a tougher team.
Yeah, because they're actually playing real teams now. They're not playing the
And I think since they're still 11-2, we can't disregard that. They're still better than the Browns. They're still better than the Ravens. They're still better.
I think
I'll give you that.
I think it's probably just towards the end of the season, and then plus, like I said, I think it was before we started this podcast, was that they clinched the playoffs. Right now, they don't have the number 1 seed, So, I mean, they don't really have a whole lot left to play for. I think what Marvin, you said when I said that the division, but even then, like, okay, you're still going to playoffs. Like, I was looking it up, who would be quarterback for the Bengals. Right now, Brandon Allen has a knee injury. He's day to day, and so they're planning to start him if he is healthy. And then it gave this stat that Allen would be the 8th Bengals quarterback to start against Ben Roethlisberger. Dalton, Palmer, Fitzpatrick, McCarron, Driscoll, Finley, and Burrow.
Is that all?
Oh, and also no. But yeah, so Brandon Allen possibly being the quarterback for the Bengals in that game. So not very likely for them to win that.
2-10-1.
Tony, you asked, are they winning just because they're playing or losing just because they're playing against good teams? I would kind of say my answer to that, in my personal opinion, is yes and no. Football team is the second hottest team in football if you look at just consecutive wins, right behind the Chiefs. And the Bills might be the second best team in football right now after destroying the Steelers. Yes, the competition's been harder, but the way that the Steelers are playing right now, I don't know how many teams they could beat. They have 4 of their starters on IR, and Bud Dupree went on IR right before that 2-game losing streak. I just don't think the Steelers team is the same. Right now, I feel like they'd lose to the Chiefs, they'd lose to the Bills, lose to the Titans, Colts, Browns. I think they lose all of those games. I think they're the 6th or 7th best team in the AFC. And I think that they're only going to win the Bengals game, lose to the Colts, lose to the Browns, end up 12-4 going into the playoffs. And they just look like a different team ever since they lost those 4 starters, including Bud Dupree, one of their best players.
I don't think they're getting the number 1 seed back.
No.
I think it's ours.
Look, because who all's out? It looks like Connor's out. Let's scroll through some of the Dupree's out. Those are already just 2 big losses.
If the Chiefs beat the Chargers and one of the 2 NFC games, they get the number 1 seed. They can lose one of the 2 NFC games and they still get it. So it's going to be really hard for the Steelers to take it back.
I don't see Chiefs losing. So I think
it's winning out.
Yeah, and so I think we should have gone 16-0. Really, should have lost that Raiders game, but yeah.
We needed it though.
Yeah, that's true.
Chiefs Saints.
Chiefs
Hold
Packers.
on, we're not.
Oh, Packer. Oh, Super Bowl.
Oh, I thought you. Were you talking about the next game or?
Yeah, no, I was talking about the next game.
We're not there yet. We're not at that point yet. Going through a rundown. Going through a rundown of the other games that we didn't get to. Rams beat Patriots 24-3. Titans beat Jaguars 31-10. Cowboys beating the Bengals 30-7. And the Bengals are going to beat the Steelers, I guess. As Marvin said. Lost to the Cowboys. Cardinals beat Giants 26-7. Seahawks beat Jets 40-3. Seahawks really needing that win, just in general.
Jets are a tough team, you know.
Yeah, that's true. Seahawks not really playing the greatest lately, so I think they kind of needed that win against just an easy team to just go out and put up 40 points.
Jets missed 3 field goals in the first half. That was bad.
Hey, they made one though, just in like the whole game.
One.
And then Packers beating the Lions 31-24. Chargers beating the Falcons 20-17. Eagles beating the Saints 24-21. Didn't see that game. We'll talk a little bit about that with Drew Brees being out as we look forward to the Chiefs game. And then Washington beating the 49ers 23-15. Both of those teams, as I said with the Steelers, confuse me. I don't know what to think about either of them, really. Yeah, and then looking at what happened so far with the playoff race, Chiefs clinch the division, now hold the 1 seed with that Steelers loss. Steelers clinch the playoffs. Packers clinch the playoffs and the division. And then Falcons, Houston, Chargers, Cincinnati, Jaguars, and Jets are eliminated at this point so far. Broncos aren't on there, as we said. So, I mean, there's still that.
We're going to go 8-8, and we're going to go to the playoffs.
Probably not. Moving on. Looking back to last week, one of the last games is that Chiefs-Dolphins game. Not a great start for the Chiefs, going down 10-0. Like I said, starting out that game, but then made it 30-10 before the Dolphins scored again. Tyreek Hill, unstoppable. Mahomes did have 3 picks, so that was a rough game for him. I know Tony was super excited about that.
Won the division, Tony.
Still,
I think
won the division.
Mahomes doesn't throw 3 picks in a game,
but we won the division.
I think it was a really good game for the Chiefs on one hand, but I really don't like the letting teams get close to coming back into it at the end. Like I said, 30-10 until Dolphins scored again, and then ended up being 33-7 or 33-27 at the end of it. I mean, I know we're winning games, so I think it's kind of like I talked about last week. I think we're kind of spoiled to where, you know, even when we win games, and I find myself like, oh, I don't know if I like this part of it or that part of it, because like I said, we should have won out this season. We should have went 16-0 or winning all these games. We got the 1 seed, so I feel like, you know, I have to find something to criticize with them, but still, like I said, really good game overall.
Had a better game than Brady. Oh, no comment. Isn't that sad? Oh, he's got nothing. He's got nothing. I win as usual.
I don't know.
You know, I'm right. It's okay.
I'm going to remain quiet.
Because you got nothing, son. You got nothing. I think Chiefs and Dolphins was a pretty interesting game. I think it's funny how we went down 10-0 in the same stadium we did like 10 months ago, and we still came back and won. That was pretty cool. I was hoping we would have won by the same score just for amusement, but we didn't. Got close though.
What was the final score?
33-27. Last time was 31-10. 20. 31-20. Right. Anyway, we won both times, so.
True.
You were gonna say something, Drew?
Yeah, I was just gonna say, I don't know if I'm happy or mad with the game, because I don't know. We're showing that teams can beat us. We're showing that we're beatable. But then when you look at the game, Mahomes was outplayed by Tua. Our defense was probably outplayed by their defense, and we still won the game. We were up 30-10 handily. When you turn the ball over 4 times, because not only were there 3 interceptions, but there was also a fumble, you should lose that football game, and we still won. It's like, it just, even when you outplay the Chiefs, you lose to the Chiefs. It just builds a lot of confidence. It's like, how do you beat a team that does that to you?
Yeah, I think it's kind of like you said last week, when even our offense wasn't that good, but our defense stepped up. This week was kind of a rough game for both. Like I said, Mahomes getting 3 picks, and then our defense letting them score 17 points. Like when they held them to 10 for most of the game. But still, he said, just finding a way to win. I think that's the key, is that as long as we keep doing that, and as long as we keep winning, it doesn't really matter. I mean, the only person that cares about it is Tony. Then it'll be, oh, they only won by 3. They only won by however much. This time 6, you know, like, but yeah, like as long as we're winning games, I mean, that's what's the most important. Just find a way to win it.
Well, this is the argument I have between the Chiefs and Steelers. Chiefs, yes, they can play very bad in games, as it's been seen the past couple of weeks. But the difference between that and the Steelers is that the Chiefs, they know they're messing up in the game, and they find a way to come back. Steelers, they see they're messing up, they try, but they can't do it. So, you like my visuals?
Yeah, it helped.
Yeah. Okay. But seriously,
especially for the people that are listening to this podcast and not able to watch it.
All two of them are going to really,
Your visuals help. Those visuals for you, Johnny.
My point is, the Chiefs, they figure out how to fix mistakes in the game. With the Steelers, they have to leave the game and come back the next week to fix their mistake. Makes sense. That's my argument between the Chiefs and Steelers. At least the past couple weeks.
Yeah, I don't think anybody has said that the Steelers were better than the Chiefs.
That's not what I'm saying. That's not what I'm saying. I'm just saying that what I'm saying is what I'm saying. Makes sense?
Oh, okay. Yeah, sorry, I completely misunderstood you. That I understand now. Thank you for clearing that up. But yeah, big win for the Chiefs. Yeah, you really saw Tyreek Hill show up in that game. I mean, not that he doesn't any other time, but he really showed that if he gets, ahead of the defenders, he's gone. Like there's nothing they can do.
They can cry about it.
That's true. They could do that.
He has 14 touchdowns on the season.
More than you got.
He has 16 total. Well, 2 rushing, 14 receiving. So, pretty good.
And Travis Kelce leads the league in receiving yards as a tight end.
He's over 1,000 receiving yards, right?
What?
Doesn't he have over 1,000 receiving yards this year?
Yeah, it's like 1,400. It's a lot.
Yeah, this is his 5th season, right? Getting 5th straight season, getting over 1,000 yards, and I think he's the first tight end to ever do that.
Yep.
Like ever in the history of the NFL. So, man, I love having a stacked team. It's nice.
Yeah. Yeah, Tony. I think it's time for Tony to convert. Because I don't know if the viewers know this or not, but Tony is what you would call a bandwagon fan. I know it's shocking. It's shocking. There was a time, we have picture proof, but due to legal reasons, we can't show you. But there was a time when Tony donned a Chiefs jersey. I know, shocking. And there was a time.
You have a picture of that?
It might be Photoshopped. That's beside the point. There's another time when he's wearing a Vikings jersey and a Saints jersey, all at the same time. All right. So you see what I'm saying?
No, not at the same time.
At the same time?
They're at different times.
At the same time, but at different times. If that makes sense, which it doesn't, but it does. Okay. So my point is, Tony changes teams when a team is doing good. Why he's still following the Broncos is, don't know why, but with your help of $19.99 a month, you can help make a difference and get Tony to transfer back to the Chiefs Kingdom. You can make the difference. Bring him back.
Don't, Marvin, no. We're not begging for money.
Oh, fans, sometimes when Marvin goes on rambles, just bypass.
We don't need the money. He's going to do it on his own anyways soon.
That's right,
anyways,
exactly.
So moving.
I apologize.
Going into what to look forward to over this next week. First off, as an NFL fan, again, we would look at the undefeated team, the Steelers. Going to the winless team, Jets. We thought would get a win this season.
Running out of time.
I wanted them to. I doubt it at this point. They're playing the Rams. Do they get a win?
Yes.
First win of the season. They beat the Rams.
Yes.
They don't win against the Rams. They're not winning.
Absolutely not.
I stick with my first claim if they're going to win, they're going to beat the Patriots.
I go with that.
See, I don't even know at this point because I don't know. Patriots have been super inconsistent too, but with them beating the Chargers 45-0.
Yeah, but then they
And-
lose to the Rams, what,
to the-
24-3?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true. So I don't know.
Well,
I think that'll be a really good game.
Yeah, I
Patriots
thought the
good.
Jets might be able to do it after the Raiders game, but the way the Raiders have looked, maybe the Raiders aren't a good team after all. So I don't know.
Told you.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, we always struggle with the Raiders too. Like, I say, we always struggle against division teams. No matter how good we're doing or how bad they're doing or whatever, we always struggle against them. So
We always manage to beat the Broncos, though, so that's good.
that's true.
That's true.
Very
11
true.
straight times.
11 times. All right, so yeah, Jets aren't going to get that win. Then looking to the primetime games, now games being played on Saturday, but we'll still just focus on the night games. So Thursday night, first up, Chargers versus Raiders, divisional matchup. I'm hoping they'll end in a tie, even though I hate ties. Actually, no, I really want the Raiders to lose. I think I hate the Raiders more than ties. I know hate's a strong word. I was talking about it with someone recently, and like I don't want like the Raiders, like the players. I don't hate them. Like I don't like wish death upon them. I just wish death upon the organization as a whole. Like that the players, coaches, people will be fine, but like if the team like itself, would just die. Like I said, not players. I don't mean it like that, but yeah. So, what are you guys' thoughts for this one? Chargers versus Raiders Thursday night.
I want Chargers.
21-17.
Wow, you just finished my sentence. Okay.
Really?
Yeah.
Wait, 21-17.
Go ahead, Marvin. Sorry, Marvin. Sorry.
Wait, who are you picking?
Raiders.
What? No, get out of here, son. No. I want Chargers. What the score he said.
21-17.
It's got a nice ring to it. Something the Chargers don't have.
I'll go Raiders 24-14, although I think the Chargers can win this game. I don't see it happening.
Yeah. I mean, that's kind of how I am too. I'd like the Chargers to win it. So I think they can. Hoping they do, rooting for them in this one. I'm still going to pick Raiders 27-20. I think this one will be a toss-up. And then I know since we all picked against Marvin that he's going to hold this against us. Even though, we said that we'd prefer the Chargers to win and could see them winning this. He's going to say that, we said that the Raiders are going to win and there's no way that the Chargers are going to win. But, I mean.
It's like the first time this year I'm actually rooting for the Chargers. And now you're all turning against me. I'm just greatly offended. Okay, I might cry. I won't, because I'm manly.
You know what this is? You know what this is? You know what that is?
Yeah,
It's the world's
violin,
tiniest violin.
Violin, yeah.
Hey, have you ever been to Crimea River? It's a real river. Look it up.
Anyways. All right, Saturday's game, Panthers versus Packers. This one, I don't think will be that good of a game, but we'll see. Saturday Night Football. Really looking forward to that. I think that'll be cool. What are you guys' thoughts on this one?
Refs win 52-0.
Okay. Tony?
Packers are going to win. Packers, Packers will win 35-33. Packers win. That's all that matters.
Yeah, give me the Packers 34-17. I think this one's going to be very close. Packers playing really well. Panthers are not.
I agree. Packers all the way. We'll throw out 42-17.
Ooh. I got 45-17. the Packers. So pretty big blowout either way. Packers have been playing really good. Don't really have anything to play for, right? Because they have the division. I don't actually know they have the 1 seed because they're tied right now with the Saints. They're in the NFC, so they do have that.
1 seed. They need to keep winning. Yeah.
I wanted Saints to have it for Drew Brees, but that's probably not going to happen now. The Saints are on a losing streak.
And about to be.
That's what I mean.
There's another one, yeah. Then Sunday night's game, Browns versus Giants. Browns playing really good, coming off that loss. Really, like I said, really good game. Do they bounce back here and beat the Giants, or are the Giants gonna, try and make that playoff push? Because really, this is a must-win game for the Giants if they even want to go to the playoffs. Because Washington is up a game on them in that division, and that's the only way either of those teams are going to the playoffs.
I guess I'll go since no one else wants to go. I think the Browns will bounce back. I think the Browns played too good against the Ravens. They really should have won, but there's no way Justin Tucker was going to miss that field goal. There's just no way. I think Browns will bounce back. I think this will crush the Giants' playoff hopes, and that could be a beautiful thing for all of America to see. I say Browns win 28-17.
Browns will go 24-10.
Browns 35-14. I think the Giants could win this game. They've been playing some pretty good football, but the Browns are playing really good football. And the only reason that they end up losing that game is because they actually scored too quick there with their 2-minute drive, giving the Ravens time. I don't see them losing this game.
Yeah, I'll go Browns 34-13. I said I think Giants do have a good team there. Obviously not good enough since they're 5-8 right now, but still I think they've got a decent team there. I don't think it's good enough to beat the Browns. I think Browns are going to come out fighting because, I said coming off that loss that they should have won. But yeah, now I'm excited for that one. So that one's on Sunday night. And then finally, Monday night's game, Steelers versus Bengals. Let's see if now the Steelers bounce back. Maybe. Burrow, not playing in that game. It's kind of questionable on who's going to be at quarterback for the Bengals, but I don't know. We'll see. What do you guys think about that one?
35-6 Steelers.
6. No.
I'll go 20-3 Steelers.
20-3? Is that what you said?
Yep.
I gave my story earlier about how it's going to go down, but I don't think I ever gave a score prediction. So I said be by field goal. So I got to make this realistic as possible.
Mm-hmm.
So the Bengals are going to win 43-40.
I thought you said realistic. We kind of stopped being realistic when you said Bengals win. Now I got Steelers. I go 30. I'd say 10. Maybe. I'd probably go 9. I don't think they'll score a touchdown. I think Steelers would definitely step up after, losing 2 games. They had that 1 seed, easily over the Chiefs. And then they lost 1 game. They still had that 1 seed, and then they lost again. So, I mean, they really gave up a lot with those 2 losses. I think they'll make a big push.
And then lose again to the Colts. Yes, right. At least we
We'll
can agree
see.
on something.
We'll see. I could see that one. Them losing to the Colts, but I said I think they've lost it too much lately to really lose again. I mean, I know
You
you're
said
not
it last
going to
week. You said it last week.
which I know you're not going to remember this if they do lose, but I could see them losing. But I could also see them, like I've said this whole time, I could see them winning out. It's one of those things where I could see it going both ways.
Okay.
But
Nice little fairy tale there, but okay.
thank you. Then looking at what to look forward to as a Chiefs fan, I think the main thing is playing New Orleans possibly without Breeze.
Is Breeze not going to be back yet?
Breeze did say that this is extra motivation for him to come back, but there's no for sure a word on whether he will come back.
I need him. I
was just gonna say they did just lose to the Eagles, but you need them too.
I need Breeze in this game. I need Breeze in this game because this game has been in the making since 2018. We were supposed to face the Saints in Super Bowl 53. And the refs decided to let the Rams in and let the Patriots in.
Yep.
Okay, maybe not on our side, but definitely, that was pass interference on the Saints.
That was messed up.
At the very least, the Saints for sure should have got in. For the very least. Realistically.
And it would have made it for a better Super Bowl.
It would have been much better than 13-3 or whatever ridiculous score that was.
Yeah.
Anyway, this game has been hyped up for 2 years. I'm surprised it's not a Sunday night football matchup. I'm surprised it's literally in the middle of the afternoon. But this is probably Breeze last year. I hate to say it, but it's probably true. But Breeze needs to play, and I need this game is 2 years in the making. Is where I'm getting at. So I don't know. I got Chiefs winning. I think it's going to be a lot closer if Breeze plays. I think even if he does, it doesn't. Chiefs are going to win either way. Chiefs are going to win, I say 28-24.
Close one.
Mm-hmm.
We'll go 31-21 Chiefs. I don't know.
I'll say if Drew Brees doesn't play, if Taysom Hill plays, I think it's going to be a blowout. We may make it close like we did last week, but one where we know we're going to win. Drew Brees plays, it should be a really good game. I'll go Chiefs 42-35.
Yeah, I say if Breeze doesn't play, I think we'll probably end up making it close, which, like I said, I hate. I think we'll win 27-20 if he doesn't play. If he does play, I think it's going to be even more high scoring on both sides. I think we'll put up more points, trying to counter back. I think it'll be over 30, probably by both teams if Breeze does play. But yeah, I think we'll win either way. That Saints defense seems pretty good. But that offense without Breeze can't really do a whole lot. Hill is a good quarterback, but he's just not good enough to keep up. I think they do a really great job. I think they need to figure out something to do to keep him in that quarterback spot that like they have had him with Breeze, coming in for some of the plays and then running on some of the plays. Coming in at wide receiver or different stuff like that. Like he's a good asset to that team, but as a full-time quarterback, as a starting quarterback, that's not his spot. But yeah, I'm really looking forward to this game. I've been looking forward to this game for a while. And like you said, Marvin, I think Breeze really needs to play because, it's Mahomes versus a veteran quarterback. And that's like the Mahomes versus Breeze or Mahomes versus Brady, or if it was Mahomes versus Rodgers or one like that.
And he hasn't faced him yet, so
yeah.
Yeah.
So
And this game was 2 years in the making. Like, they really should have made this Sunday Night Football over Browns and Giants. They really should have.
yeah. I mean, I think Browns will play a good game, but I don't think Giants will compete. But I think this one will be a good game either way, like whether Breeze is in or not. I think it'll be a good game. I think NFL, like we've talked about, I think they've done a good job with the primetime games, but this week, not as much. I can't remember who's playing on that the other Saturday game.
Broncos Bills.
Mm-hmm.
Broncos Bills. I don't think that's going to be that much of a game at all. Like I think Bills are just going to. Like I think they're going to score
56-0.
I think Bills will score on every
Maybe
drive,
on Madden.
including on the Broncos drives. I think Bills will score.
Did
on
you
every single
purposely leave that out?
drive. No,
What?
You forgot.
no, because I was trying to figure out because I mean,
Oh.
what I think next Saturday there's like 3 games on Saturday, and I didn't want like
Yeah.
a lot of time
Gotcha.
games, but yeah, no, I'm looking forward to this week. Looking forward to seeing the
Broncos
Chiefs
win.
play. No, looking forward to seeing the Bills win. Looking forward to see the Falcons win over the Bucks. And so it should be a really fun week overall. All right, so to wrap it up, coming up in KC area sports or other, KC sports news, Missouri did lose to Georgia. They'll go on to play Mississippi State at Mississippi State at 2:30 on Saturday. In Royals news, re-signed Greg Holland. Really excited about that. I know he's not as good as he used to be when he was in there with the HDH, going 7th, 8th, and 9th innings. But still really excited to have him back. Hoping for a better season this season. Hoping to have Salvi healthy the whole season this time too.
And a full season at that.
Yeah, no, that's very true. I think that's a big reason why we haven't been as good as we used to be. I mean, we don't have a lot of the key guys, but I think not having Salvi there for the whole time has definitely hurt a lot for not even having a decent season. But
that and I mean 162 game season as opposed to 60.
Yeah, no, that's definitely true. I'm hoping they do. And then, as we said, Chiefs are playing Saints. They'll play at 3:25 on Sunday in New Orleans. It should be an interesting game. I'm hoping for a blowout. That'd be nice. Thank you to Marvin, Tony, and Drew for your comments. Thank you to the fans for supporting, listening, for your comments, or as we sometimes call it, constructive criticism. You can listen to us on YouTube, Facebook, and most of the streaming apps, and also check us out on Facebook. That's where we're the most active. Instagram, not as much, and then now TikTok. Trying to be more active on there also. This has been another KC Sports Memes podcast.